And hello again, dear ones. Dr. Robert with you here on a Wednesday morning. It's 8:15 on the Mountain Time Zone, and that means it is time for our morning prayers. So grateful that you're with us here today. I love Wednesdays. Got something going on here I got to get rid of. Sorry. Distractions. Don't like distractions when I'm getting ready to pray. That's for sure. Hey, happy holidays, happy holidays, happy holidays, whichever holiday you celebrate this month. Please know that we celebrate that with you. Such a beautiful day here in Colorado. I'm grateful to be alive, grateful to be in spiritual community with each and every one of you, whether you're watching this live or at another time. Thank you for tuning in. And hey, we always like to remind everybody when we talk about prayer here on New Thought Media Network, we're not talking about begging and beseeching. We're not talking about getting down on a bended knee and saying, "Oh, please, 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 bless me." This is an affirmative prayer. It is our way of affirming the truth as we know it, which often leads to a revelation of truth, a revealing of the truth. I often come to a greater understanding of what's happening in the world and what's happening in my life, and in the midst of the prayer, in the midst of the process of aligning ourselves with the oneness. If you'd like to learn more, send us an email, prayer@ntmedia.org. If you'd like to have our team praying on your behalf, please send an email, prayer@ntmedia.org. If you'd like to submit your prayer request through the chat box of this program, go ahead and do that. We'll get the team praying on your behalf throughout the week. And we like to remind everybody that all of our prayer practitioners, all of our prayer partners are available for individual sessions and private conversations to support you in prayer, in the process of it, in the living of it as well. So if you'd like to schedule some time with one of our prayer partners, please just send an email, prayer@ntmedia.org. Let us know who you want to talk with, and we will facilitate that connection, get you connected with that person, get you into some private prayer time as well. A couple of more good mornings showing up. Good morning, Shay. Good to see you, dear one. Glad you're here. Lori, good to see you, dear one. Grateful, grateful, grateful. We've got all the way from Colorado back to New Jersey, 3 time zones, maybe more represented in the room at the moment. Feel free to shout out a comment if you like as we go along. Reverend Cynthia. So grateful that you're here. Good to see you again. Reverend Cynthia and I recorded an interview yesterday for her book, Undoing the Knots. It's we're not sure when we're going to broadcast it yet, but it's going to be soon, sometime later this week. We'll be broadcasting that. So keep an eye open for that. It was a really fun interview. So grateful you're with us. Anyone else, feel free to, again, chat along, chime along, and let us know you're part of what we're doing here. But I'm going to get going and get us into some prayer. So if you're in a safe space to close your eyes and comfortable doing so, I invite you to join me in that. As I close my eyes to not close out the world, but I close my eyes so I may see differently. And I take a moment to tune into my breath, not trying to change it, not trying to make it something it isn't, but just tuning in to what is happening with my breath. And it is here that we come together to know the one. We come together and recognize one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence that is operating as all of life, every life, every form of life, every expression of life, all part of this oneness is one thing. Some call that God, and others call it Buddha or Brahma or Yahweh or Vishnu, Kuan Yin, source energy, the law. No matter the name, no matter the image, no matter the icon, the oneness remains the same. The oneness remains everything. It is that self-existent cause that is forever taking on form and experience in order to abandon those forms and take on new form, new experience. The oneness reveals itself as my life perfectly. Whole, complete, nothing missing, nothing absent. And as I know that truth of my life, I know it must be true of all life. So I know it must be true of the lives of each and every one on this call, each and every one listening to this prayer now at another time, perhaps even in another dimension. The oneness reveals itself through these words, through this prayer. And what I recognize is I recognize this same power, this same opportunity, this same ability resides within each and every one of us. So everyone has the opportunity to use these words, to use our own words, to create the life we truly desire. I claim for each one here a deep, deep knowing, a deep sense of assurance that everything that's happening in their lives right now is absolutely necessary. It may not seem that way. We may not like it. And yet there is something that is happening in our lives right now that is bringing us closer to our wholeness, bringing us closer to the divine. In fact, everything that's happening in our lives, in some way, shape, or form, brings us closer to our deep knowing, to our deep sense of trust and faith that everything necessary for the fulfillment of our lives' mission, our soul's purpose, comes into our lives exactly as necessary. That you are an absolute necessary aspect of this thing called life, that your gifts, your skills, your talents, the way you show up in the world, your uniqueness is absolutely vital to the evolution of human consciousness. And so the world would be a much, much lesser place without you, without your voice, without your laugh, without the way you decide to show up, without the choices you make. And we are each free. We each have this thing called free will. So we are each free to utilize the law, to utilize this truth in a way that we choose. And I affirm for myself this day the choice of using that power for good, using that power for light, using that power to lift up, using my choices to inspire, using my choices to move the vision forward. And I let go of any sense of misusing the law. You let go of any sense of just using the law for myself and my own personal gain alone, but rather I let go of that and I embrace a sense of using this law, using the power of the divine to move forward in life in a way that shines, that uplifts, that inspires, that serves. And sometimes just cradles. Just being present sometimes is enough. I claim for each one here on this call a sense of presencing the divine this day, presencing the truth of your life this day, presencing that sacred yes of your life this day, in whatever way makes itself known. We each are avenues through which the divine presence reveals itself into the world. And so we are the very presence of God. I invite you to remember that throughout this day. You are the very presence of the divine, the presence of God made manifest, creating a glorious life. And so I am in this moment grateful for the reminder, grateful for the opportunity to speak this word, grateful to be the channel through which the divine reveals itself, but most especially grateful to know that God's got this. And I need not worry about how or when or why any of this comes into form. Rather, I need release the word into the law and relax and let it be and witness the miracle of creation. For the law is already operating upon this prayer, cannot return this word void, but must bring into experience this word, this prayer. So again, from that deep sense of gratitude, I release this word into the law, into the universal law that is already acting upon it, already bringing it forward into form. I release and I let go and I let it be. And if any word of this has resonated in any way, I invite you to join me in an affirmation of truth as we say together, and so it is. And so it is. Thank you, dear ones, for being with us here on this beautiful Wednesday morning. Thank you for being with us, Mara. Good to see you. Saying yes, Reverend Cynthia. Exactly. Saying yes. All right, folks, I do need to get out of here today. However, we do always invite you to head on over to ntmedia.org. And if it moves you, hit that donate button. Let us know that you're a part of the movement here. And if you're already on our committed giving program and already have a monthly donation, thank you for that. It is your support that allows us to move this message, get this out across the planet. So thank you for being a part of what we're doing here. Tell your friends, tell your family, let everybody know what we're doing here on New Thought Media Network, because we have a very full day coming up for you, as we do every Wednesday. Let me make sure I get my times right. I know the morning sip happens next with Rev Melissa. 9 o'clock, it's Emma Moreno with Spanish language programming. 9:30, it's the Spanish language prayer team. Later today, Change Your Story, Change Your Life with Mitch Austin. That happens, Reverend Mitch Austin. That happens at noon Mountain Time. Rockin' the Love with Robin and Gil at 1 o'clock. And the Spirit Cafe with Reverend Barbara and Cheryl Rogers. That happens at 2 o'clock Mountain Time. Be sure to stay with us throughout the day here on the New Thought Media Network. I'm Dr. Robert. I'm getting out of here for now. Until next time, I wish you peace and richest blessings. Bye now. On behalf of everyone at New Thought Media Network, thank you for being a member of our virtual family. Your financial contributions help share the New Thought message with people from around the world. Please visit and contribute at www.ntmedia.org/donate. New Thought Media Network. Come be you. And please like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace and blessings.